At some point in the next few weeks, a B-52H bomber will carry a missile high into the air and launch it at an unprecedented velocity toward its target, according to the U.S. Air Force. If everything goes according to plan, that missile will accelerate to more than 5 times the speed of sound before deploying a dummy second stage that will promptly disintegrate somewhere in the atmosphere. The missile, known as AGM183A, is supposed to be the first hypersonic weapon or air-launched rapid response weapon ARRW in the U.S. arsenal. It should move so quickly through the atmosphere, about 20 times the speed of sound at such low altitudes, that it's impossible for enemy missile defense systems to shoot out of the air. And its speed means that it can be useful for destroying high-value, time-sensitive targets, the Air Force said in a statement. Hypersonic missile designs, including this one, typically involve 2 stages. First, a rocket accelerates the weapon to many times the speed of sound, while remaining at a much lower altitude than intercontinental ballistic missiles ICBMs that arc high above the atmosphere before delivering their nuclear payloads. Second, it releases a glider that carries the weapon for the final leg of its journey to the target, riding the atmosphere like a surfer bobbing and weaving over waves, adding another wrinkle to any attempt to shoot it down. This lower altitude, in theory, makes hypersonic weapons harder to detect and harder to destroy, more difficult to detect because radar sweep is blocked by the contours of the Earth, whether it's mountains, hills or buildings. The closer an object is to the ground, the more objects that get in the way. And hypersonic missiles are theoretically more difficult to shoot down for roughly the same reasons. Most missile defense technologies are designed to intercept ICBMs close to the apex of their bow through space. Up there, the missile defense system has a clearer line of sight to the target, and the ICBM itself moves in a more predictable way. The U.S. isn't the only country working on hypersonic weapons technology. As Live Science previously reported, Russian President Vladimir Putin first announced his country's own hypersonic weapons program in 2018, promising the nation's hypersonic weapon would reach Mach 20. Pavel Podvig, a military analyst, told Live Science at the time that such weapons likely won't be useful. My take is, you don't really need this kind of capability. It doesn't really change much in terms of ability to hit targets. That's because ICBMs are already perfectly capable of evading missile defense systems. The US has the most advanced missile defense technology in the world. And according to Union of Concerned Scientists physicist Laura Grego and many other analysts, it simply does not work. So it's not clear why a hypersonic missile would be necessary for striking any other country. The Air Force does emphasize the idea that an ARRW might be useful against time-sensitive targets, because of its high speed. The danger of hypersonic weapons, Podvig said, is that they aren't covered by existing treaties designed to prevent arms races. And there's still a great deal of uncertainty around the technology. These systems create greater risks of strategic miscalculation, Podvig said, and it's not clear if we can effectively deal with those risks. The missile arrived at Edwards Air Force Base in California on March 1, and the service had originally said the test would take place by March 6. Then, the March 5 statement extended that timeline to the next 30 days without explanation.